What's up guys, welcome to the new office tour in the new apartment. Well, new, I've been living here since December of 2022, but I wanted to upload this video simultaneously with the apartment tour, but the apartment wasn't finished until this week because of certain things happening in the world that I can't say because then the video will get demonetized. It has to do with wood shortage and IKEA not being able to deliver the closet. But anyways, this video is about this office where I'm creative, where I shoot, create, edit videos. It's basically where I live, so let's start with some B-roll. Okay, let's talk about some specs. First, where this editing setup is standing on. This is a Jarvis L-shaped standing desk from Fully. Pretty amazing desk, not that cheap, actually pretty expensive. But for this you get a good quality desk, which is why I invested in it, and it even comes with a bottle opener. Well, it doesn't come with it, I had to pay extra for it, but it's definitely worth the money. So the editing setup itself, the brain, the computer, changed from the last couple of years because in April, my trusty 2019 27-inch 5K Retina iMac died. Just straight up dead. And right with that also one of my hard drives died and I had to pay 3,500 euros just to save it. Great times, great times. So I had to buy a new Mac and display because the iMac of course also served with a monitor. So since Apple nowadays only sells 24-inch iMacs and I didn't want to downgrade from my 27 inches, this option fell completely out of the decision. I had to choose between a Mac Mini and a Mac Studio. Mac Studio of course, because it's bigger, more expensive and because of that better, right? Nope. They only made Mac Studios with the Apple M1 and 16 GB of RAM back then, and my old iMac had 32 GB of RAM. Again, I didn't want to downgrade. So I bought the Mac Mini with the Apple M2 Pro, 32 GB of RAM, a 12-core CPU and 19-core GPU, whatever that means. I'm just reading it from here. I don't know what this means. And so that I could still see what I'm doing, I got the Apple Studio display with nano texture glass. Also did an unboxing of that, link down below. For my second and third monitor, yes, we gotta have three, they all get used, trust me. I still have two Samsung 23.5 Full HD curved displays of the type C24F390. And these side monitors are mounted with the Jarvis monitor arms from Fully, which work pretty great and you can hide the cables in them. I couldn't get the version with two arms, but had to get two single arms instead because back then the big iMac and now the Apple Studio display is in between the monitors. To control my iMac I still use the wireless keyboard from Apple, the smaller one, and a trackpad. I also have the mouse but don't really use it. If I need a mouse for like mask work and After Effects, I just use this cheap Amazon gaming mouse. Honestly, I hate the Apple mouse. It's hideous. I record my voiceovers, some videos and even sound effects with my Shure SM7B on a Rode table arm, which is pretty great. This goes into a Focusrite Scarlett interface and we have a fathead in between. By the way, the links to all the products mentioned in the video is down below in the description. To listen to the recorded sound, I have these normal Logitech speakers with a subwoofer underneath the table, but they aren't really plugged in. I mainly just use the internal Mac Studio display sound because honestly, it sounds fucking amazing, or just headphones. For storage, I still got the Western Digital Marburg Duo hard drives. They are RAID based and I can make a mirror backup on them, which is pretty cool and necessary to work reliable for clients. Yes, they failed on me in the beginning of the year and the RAID backup basically was useless because the hard drive was just gone entirely, but honestly it wasn't the fault of the hard drive, it was more like the fault of the iMac constantly crashing, which resulted in the hard drives breaking. I have 5 of these huge things now, two 36 terabytes, one with 24, one with 16 and many more, I don't know, but the 36 and 24 ones are the ones mainly still in use. I made a more in-depth video on the Western Digital hard drives, so if you're curious feel free to watch that by clicking the link down below in the description or here. If I'm shooting a video on this setup, I usually have the A7S III on a tripod right here in front of me. Or if I'm doing a tutorial style setup on the monitor, it's on a GorillaPod right here on the desk. Up here I have my Godox SL60W light on the Aperture Light Dome Mini 2, sometimes on a normal light stand, but right now it's on a C stand to be more flexible and to be able to do light setups from above. Here's a little sneak peek for an intro shoot of a soon finally to be released series. And depending on how fancy I feel and when I shoot at night, a little hair light on the side. During the day it just comes naturally from the window. By the way, this looks overexposed, but it's actually not that overexposed. It's just very white sky all the time. I mean, you can see the tree. Then right next to my desk setup, I have this little drawer with my printer on top of it, and in the drawers we just have some printing essentials like paper and ink, pencils, some writing essentials and stuff like that. On the other side of the room we have a heavy-duty storage shelf which always appears in the background of the videos, and a workbench / display shelf from my old gear room, now more out in the open, which I also enjoy very much. Link to the old gear room video down below. Or up here, I don't know. Oh, and also not to forget, I mainly park and display my FX6 on the Manfrotto tripod right here in front of the window, and we have the old DJI Ronin M right here in the corner next to the printer setup. Now on this shelf I just store some lights and the Ronin S, some more lights, the Edelkrone slider, and the pockets for the Polar Pro Basecamp mat box, more lights, random cables and various stuff like batteries, important cables, and aerosol spray. It may look a bit cluttered, but to be honest I really don't mind it because it also looks like it's just a lot of filmmaking stuff going on, and it's kind of my quick access section with stuff I just grab on a daily basis. In between here we have the door to the guest toilet of the apartment. Very efficient, you could also say it's the office toilet. I just have to turn around, take a pee or something like that, and then go right back to work. On the workbench we have the tripods and light stands at the bottom, a camera bag, the FX6 bag and drone in the middle, and then some cameras I actually still use like the A7S III and A7S II, along with some lenses like the Canon 70-200mm f2.8 IS lens, along with some more decorative objects like my old Canon 700D, my old camcorder that I still sometimes use for music video, VHS style clips, and some old vintage cameras I bought on the flea market. They don't work anymore, I think. And of course, let's not forget the good old slate and a plant, because green improves your creativity or something like that. Then we have the old gear room chair, which now serves friends or clients sitting next to me on the desk. And we have this microphone stand, which serves for hanging coats, which was intended to just be a part-time solution, but now I think I actually want to keep it like this because it's kind of a funny meta detail. And you could also say it adds character to the apartment or office. Not something I would say, but go ahead. Then we have the shoe shelf, and on top of it, the remains of my trusty old car, which I sold last year when it broke down and had to get a new, more reliable car. And that's basically it from the office room down here. If you want to watch the entire apartment tour, be sure to tune in next Sunday, because then we will have the entire apartment tour. We still have the bedroom, a master bathroom, and upstairs, which is pretty amazing, so go watch it. You can subscribe right here. You can find my old editing setup back at my parents' place right here, and the old office tour right here. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. Goodbye.